last week during our picnic, I gave a quick, brief overview of 1 Kings, chapters 18 and 19. So we're going to go back and go through that a little bit more today. Is everyone able to hear me over the fan?
Yes.
Okay. We're told that there was a great drought. And that lasted 3 years, and that Elijah had gone to meet with King Ahab. And then when he meets up with King Ahab, I'm skipping through just a little bit. I'm not reading through the text. So I'm going to tell the story here. As he meets up with King Ahab, Ahab calls him a troublemaker. And Elijah looks at him and says, I'm not the troublemaker. It's you and your family that has forgotten God and has served Baal. You are the troublemaker. You're the one that caused the drought. You don't serve the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. I am having one of those days. I can't speak today. All tongue-tied. Anyway, he says, you're not serving the God of Jacob, Abraham, and Isaac. And I keep flipping everything around there. You see that? So, he says, you guys have been serving Baal. So Elijah tells King Ahab to go and collect all of his prophets, all the prophets of Baal. And he says, have them meet me on the mountain. Mountain, is it? Yeah, Mount Carmel. Yeah, you're right. I keep wanting to say Mount Sinai. We'll get to that one later. But they go to Mount Carmel and he tells them, he challenges them. He says, I want you to pick out 2 bulls and bring them forward. And I want your prophets, I want your 850 prophets to sacrifice a bull, place it on the altar, and call to Baal to burn, to use it as a burnt offering. You do not light it. You want Baal to light this offering. So the prophets, they slaughter the bull, they sacrifice the bull, they place it on the altar, and they arrange the wood, and they start to pray, and they start to dance, and they start to jump around. And this goes on for a couple of hours. It gets to be about noontime. Now Elijah is starting to play with him a little bit. He goes, well, maybe he's on vacation. Maybe you're not yelling loud enough. Maybe you're not dancing hard enough. So they start dancing harder. They start cutting themselves, because that's part of their tradition. They start bleeding all over the place, dancing around this bull, calling for Baal to light this bull. And he starts getting into the evening hours, still no response, and Elijah's still taunting him. Come on, yell louder. And then finally he says, okay, it's my turn. And he takes 12 stones to represent the 12 tribes and rebuilds the altar of God. And then he slaughters the bull, places it out on the altar, and he says, before I'm done though, and he digs a trench around the altar. And it says it can hold about 3-4 gallons in this trench. And he tells a couple people in the crowd to go grab 4 jugs of water and go fill them up and pour them over this bull, over the wood, over the altar. And keep doing it. He said about 3-4 times. Keep covering it. He says, okay, now that trench is nice and full of water. The bull is soaking wet. And you got to put yourself in their place, and all the people standing around them, man, he's an idiot. We couldn't get Baal to light it, and it was dry wood. Now he soaked it. He soaked everything. It's dripping with water. There's no way it's going to light. Elijah gets down beside the altar and he prays. And what he says is, God, show them that you sent me. Show them that you are the God of all gods. That you are the Lord of lords. And that you told me to come. And with that, fire fell from the heavens and burned up the bull, the altar, burned up everything that was there. It was so hot it melted the rocks. Can you imagine the crowd? Whoa! Did you guys see that? I know I was completely blown away seeing not only the bull and the wood go, but the rocks. You know how hot it has to be for a rock to disintegrate? I mean, I've seen them pop, but I've never seen one disintegrate. That's a hot fire. So, after this, Elijah looks up King Ahab and says, grab all the prophets. And he takes them down and he slaughters them. He took the prophets down to, I lost my place, so I'm just going to keep going. It's one of those mornings. But he goes and slaughters the prophets of Baal. And he comes back and tells King Ahab, you know what? There's a mighty rainstorm coming. Now, being a king that just witnessed all this, I would be a little skeptical going, okay, you say so. He says, you better go home, get something to eat, get something to drink, because there's a mighty storm coming. And he goes up to the top of the mountain and he starts to pray. And he takes his servant up. Now this is Elijah, not Ahab. Takes his servant to the top of the mountain and he starts to pray. And he sends his servant out to look out over the sea and to see if there's any clouds coming in. The servant comes back the first time and says, no, I don't see nothing. Go back out. I'm going to pray a little harder. Comes back the second time, no, I don't see nothing. He sends him out 7 times. The 7th time he comes back and says, I see a cloud, but it's only the size of a man's hand. That'll do. And he says, now run down the mountain and tell Ahab he better move. Because that storm's coming. If you don't go now, you're not going to make it. So the servant goes tearing down the mountain, gets Ahab in the chariot, and he's going. Now Elijah, he just feels this mighty strength of God hit him. And he grabs his cloak, tucks it in his belt, and takes off running. And all I can think about is Superman running in front of a train. Because Elijah passes the chariot that Ahab's on and beats him to the city of Jezreel. Now, can you imagine sitting in the chariot and, what was that? What was that? Apparently I'm supposed to eat this microphone today. But sitting in the chariot, Ahab's like, all right, this is cool. And there's a cloud coming in, okay. That's the first cloud I've seen in 3 years. That's kind of awesome. What just passed me? It's Elijah. He hit the city before him. So Ahab, he's all wound up. He's all excited about what he just saw. It's pouring down rain now. Now we're going to pick up in 1 Kings 19. I'm actually going to read the scripture here. When Ahab got home, he told Jezebel everything Elijah had done, including the way he had killed the prophets of Baal. So Jezebel sent this message to Elijah. May the gods strike me and even kill me if by this time tomorrow I have not killed you just as you have killed them. And Elijah was so afraid, he fled for his life. He went to Beersheba, a town in Judea, and he left his servant there. Then he went alone into the wilderness. Traveling all day, he sat down under a solitary broom tree and prayed that he might die. I've had enough, Lord, he said. Please take my life, for I am no better than my ancestors who have already died. Now let's stop there. After everything Elijah just did through the power of God, he still feared Jezebel. So he runs for his life when he's threatened. And he begged God to let him die. Now for a moment I go, well, you're running because you're afraid to die. And then I started realizing, well, she was going to kill him the way he killed the prophets. It was probably going to be a painful death. It wasn't going to be quick. It wasn't going to be fun. Well, no death is fun, but it wasn't going to be pleasant. So he was praying that God would take his life so he didn't have to deal with that. But we're going to pick up in verse 5. Then he laid down to sleep under the broom tree, and as he was sleeping, an angel touched him and told him, "Get up and eat." He looked around, and there beside his head was some bread that was baked on a stone and a jar of water. So he ate and drank and lay down again. Then the angel of the Lord came again and touched him and said, "Get up and eat some more, for the journey ahead of you is much too far for you." So he got up and he ate and drank, and the food gave him enough strength to travel 40 days and 40 nights to Mount Sinai, the mountain of God, where he came to a cave where he spent the night. All right, we're back to that bread and water. Remember a few months ago we were talking about fasting. He had bread and water. And then God called him to walk for 40 days and 40 nights to Mount Sinai. Anyone tell me why that's a little significant? He had to walk for 40 days and 40 nights. Isn't that how long Moses was on the mountain? Isn't that how long he fasted? Why did he fast? We'll get to that. Pick up in verse 10. But the Lord said to him, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" Elijah replied, "I have zealously served the Lord God Almighty, but the people of Israel have broken their covenant with you, torn down your altars, and killed every one of your prophets. I'm the only one left. And now they're trying to kill me. Go stand before me on the mountain," the Lord told him. And as Elijah stood there, the Lord passed by, and a mighty windstorm hit the mountain. It was such a terrible blast that the rocks were torn loose, but the Lord was not in the wind. After the wind, there was a mighty earthquake, and the Lord was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake, there was a great fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, the sound of a gentle whisper. And Elijah heard it and wrapped his face in his cloak and went out and stood in the entrance of the cave. And the voice said, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" And again he replied, "I have zealously served the Lord God Almighty, but the people of Israel have broken their covenant with you, torn down your altars, and killed every one of your prophets. I am the only one left, and now they're trying to kill me too." Then the Lord told him, "Go back in the same way you came, and travel to the wilderness of Damascus. When you arrive there, anoint Hazael to be king of Aram, and anoint Jehu, grandson of Nimshi, to be king of Israel, and anoint Elijah, son of Shaphat, from the town of Abel Maholam, to replace you as my prophet. Anyone who escapes from Hazael will be killed by Jehu, and those who escape from Jehu will be killed by Elisha. Yet I will preserve 7,000 others of Israel who have never bowed down to Baal or kissed him." I'm going to stop there. Because at 40 days that he walked, after he had bread and water. If you remember back a few months, I had talked about fasting. And a fast is basically, it brings us closer to God. We start to rely more on God in that fast. We start relying more on His strength, more on His words, and we listen a little bit harder for Him. Now, a fast is something that He calls us to. We can sit and say we're going to fast. We can sit and say that we're going to just sit and not eat, or we're going to do this. Fasting is not just stopping to eat or stopping what you drink. It's between you and God. It's a connection that's made. And when God called him out in the wilderness and said, "You're going to eat this, you're going to drink this, and then you're going to walk." And when Elijah got up and he ate and drank, and he got up and walked those 40 days, he put all his trust, all his faith in what God had told him. You're just going to walk, okay? I'm walking. You tell me when I'm stopping. And that's why when he was in the cave and the wind came through and the fire and the earthquake, God wasn't there, but God was in that small voice. That small whisper. How many times does God whisper in our ear and we miss it because we're listening to the windstorm, we're listening to the fire, we're watching the rocks slide down the hill, we're not hearing that small voice because we're waiting on something bigger. Like a tornado. I don't know about a potato. I don't know what a potato means anymore. You can see a lot of things. It's a lot of eyes. Oh, potatoes are very powerful. They're very yummy. But we don't listen to that small voice. We hear it. 9 times out of 10, we hear it, but we don't listen to it. Because we're too focused on, well, there was that great windstorm. Maybe God was saying something through that. Did you see that fire? Maybe that meant something. Meanwhile, God is whispering, saying, I want you. I love you. Come, talk to me. And we're going, no, look. And we miss it. We stand and we look for these great advances, great miracles in our lives, and we miss the little ones. We miss that small voice, that little movement. Looking back, there was many small things that brought me to this point, that I can stand in front of you and share the Word of God. Things that I overlooked for a long time, that I didn't recognize. Because I was looking for something bigger. As many of you know, I was told I'd never have kids. When I was sick and had cancer, I was told I'd never have kids. I've got 3 kids. Some of them think they're daredevils and jump off of porches and break themselves. But yes, I was excited. It was a miracle to me that I had a daughter, but I didn't see God in that. I didn't recognize God in that. When all the doctors and everything according to medical science says you will never have a kid, God says, yeah, you will. Here you go. I didn't recognize that as a miracle. I didn't recognize it as God's voice. It's the little things in our lives. Yes, God can speak in a great, big, booming voice. Witnessed it at camp a couple weeks ago with the teens. God spoke very clearly to one of the kids. Scared the living daylights out of him. But it was awesome. For most of us, He speaks in that small voice. He wants us to try harder to get to know Him, to understand Him. Because He wants us to love Him, wants us to make the move. He wants us to move forward. Quit looking at our past, quit looking at what happened, and look to the future of what He's going to give. And not worry about how. And how's another story. That's His providence, that's His giving. But we need to listen to that small voice. We need to listen for that little whisper in the distance. And sometimes we need to strain, we need to cup our ears. And we need to move towards that sound. There's those of us that hear His voice even right now. But we're so distracted. Whether it's a baby crying, whether it's a fan running, whether it's a kid playing in the front here. we're distracted by something, even though we hear God's voice saying, hey, I want to talk to you. Hey, why don't you come up and talk to me? Why don't you step forward and talk to me? We focus on everything else. Because that little voice, we put it off as, I can shut that up. Until we can't. Until that voice, as Pastor Mark shared last week, some of us get hit with a 2x4, some of us get a lead pipe, some of us get a Mack truck to run into us. Before we go, oh, that's you talking. I'm sorry. It's never easy to walk with God. Because we're always straining to hear His voice. Because we let our lives get in the way. We let other things get in the way of what He's saying. So it's a constant struggle. It's a constant movement towards Him, closer to Him. And that's what we need to focus on. We need to focus on that little whisper. And we need to learn how to move closer to it. How to ask it, okay, I'm hearing a little bit. How do I get closer? How do I hear what you're saying? Where do I need to move? Call me in that direction and I'll go. And we have to move willingly. We have to say, okay, you've called me, here I come. We can't turn around and say, wait, let me say goodbye. Or wait, let me do this, let me do that. I'm calling you. Okay, Lord, where am I going? It's always a struggle. I mean, come on. Elijah was God's prophet, and he went and hid because he didn't want to share anymore. He didn't want to be that person that everyone looked at and said, oh, that's that troublemaker. He's the one that makes us have these issues because he's telling us the truth. He's opening our eyes. It's not easy to walk with God. Think of Jonah. Jonah was called to go and tell the Ninevites about God and what they're doing wrong. And he said, no, they'll kill me. And no, I don't want them to be saved. So he runs. And God says, okay, go ahead and run. Get on that ship, go ahead and go. How do you like the storm that's coming up? Because it's time to go and do what I told you to do. That was his 2x4. We need to learn to listen to that voice. We need to be asking God to let us hear that voice a little clearer. To show us where we need to move in our lives. And I'm not talking just physical, I'm talking spiritually, emotionally, where we need to move. Because some of us are holding on to things that are blocking our reception of God. We need to let it go. So as we close today, as we go to closing prayer, I ask you to just continually reach for God, continually ask Him to touch us and to speak into our lives so that we can hear that small voice. And let us move in our hearts and in our minds and sometimes physically closer to where He is so we can hear Him better. And if there's something that's on your heart, you need to let go and lay at His feet. The altar, I don't care what time of the service it is, you can come up to the altar and let it go. Let it go. We got frozen up here in front now.
I was singing it too. It's funny, my daughter's singing it.
But if there's anything that's on your heart, anything that you need to let go, anything that's holding you back from God, it's always welcome to you. He will meet you where you are as well. If you want to stay in your seat, you don't want to come over here and make a scene or make a show of yourself. Don't want it to sound wrong, but that's what a lot of people must think. We don't want to get up in front of people. And that's fine. But how can we be praying for you if you won't let us know? But as we pray today, I want you to ask God to speak a little bit louder so you can follow where He's leading us. Let's pray. Father, we come to you today and we just thank you for the opportunity to come and worship together. Lord, I ask that you continue to speak in that small voice, that you continue to call us and move us and guide us in the direction in which us to go. And I ask that our hearts be open, that our minds be open, and we listen for your voice. Above all other noises, Lord, I ask that we listen for your voice, that we hear what you're saying and we move when you tell us to move. If we have something on our heart, Lord, I ask that we lay it down right now. That we do not pick it back up. That we hand it over to you and say, it's gone, it's no longer mine, I don't want it, take it from me. Because I want to hear what you're saying. I want to know what you're trying to tell me. I want to go where you're trying to lead me. Father, I ask you to continue to speak into our hearts. To speak into the hearts of our brothers and sisters, our neighbors, our families. Let us walk together in your light, guiding others. Father, I just ask all of this in Jesus' name. Amen.